complicate things or would it make it better? I do not know. I mean, during our trending stories today, I was listening to the news, and Nigerians on social media are saying, hey, you can go on strike, but please do not shut down the national grid. We need the national grid. But what do you make of this situation? Really, it's time that we put this in proper perspective. I'm not wondering. We can't seem to afford, minimum wage. Why don't we do something about productivity once again? Looking at all of the projects embarked on by the federal government and looking at the activities of the state governors, have we told the right path? Should we be building a coastal road right now, for instance, when our refineries are in comatose, or basically we're finding it difficult to rehabilitate the refineries? Should we be concentrating on majority of the things that we're concentrating on when we could have been nursing our natural resources in the northern part of the country, like gold, or in the southwestern part of the country, a lot of the things that are embedded in our soil. So this is some of the things that I'm thinking. I'm wondering if we have been creative enough in the past 1 year. I'm wondering if we should go back to a subsidy, but then the government would tell you, we don't have enough money to pay for petroleum subsidy. So we are in some kind of fix. We are in some kind, and once again, could the government have prioritized the refineries, given that, you're removing subsidy? I mean, these are some of the questions in my head. I could go on and on and on. The state governors, I wonder if the 36 of them are even aiding the situation or trying to cushion the effects of our current economic situation. Because, I mean, look at what their priorities have been. For instance, Hajj, sending people for Hajj, or buying cars, or what really have they put in place? I mean, let's be realistic. I know some of them have built roads, built bridges, built schools, but we're talking about the economy. Could students learn properly if they're hungry? Was it yesterday? I was looking at the headlines yesterday, and we talked about the possibility of famine, or is it that the right word? Something like a hunger situation in Bauchi State. And in all honesty, I do think it is in almost all states right now. People are suffering. I know how many people stopped me on the road yesterday asking for help, financial assistance. Even myself, I need one. But what do I know? Let's quickly look at the second big story. Interesting one, I should say. It still has to do with governance. And it's so sad that the audio clip of this very big story is so poor. I should... the person who recorded it should learn how to do proper recording, because Rotimi Amaechi, His Excellency, former Governor of Rivers State, was in town. He was visiting an APC member over the weekend. I think there was some funeral situation, or I don't know, but yeah, he was visiting, and he was gisting with friends. Mika Beke was in that picture. I think some friends, some friends were there, and they were talking, and he somehow found his way talking about the political situation in Rivers State, and he said he's not for anybody. He's not for Wike, he's not for the governor, Fubara, is not for any one of them. He stands with the people, and he wants the people to realize that there would be no Wike or Fubara without the people, and that the politicians, these political actors, are not necessarily doing all of these for the people. Now, the reason why Governor Fubara is as popular as he is right now is because he is anti-Wike. And I mean, to some extent, I don't know. I do think that explanation hits me in the right way. What do I mean? If the governor was not fighting with, like he likes to call him, his boss, would the lots that are currently dancing and singing his praises, dance and sing his praises? I mean, that's a question begging for an answer, right? And so he is saying that he's not in support of any of them, that the governor should look carefully at those, standing by him or besides him, because all of them are, you call them hungry politicians. You call even the people standing by the FCT ministers hungry politicians. This one is there, that one is there. He called them hungry politicians. I wonder what your thoughts are. Like I said, I'm putting my emotions in check, so I can't say certain things that. But yeah, I want to get to hear yours and what you think about what Amaechi, former governor of Rivers State, said about the political situation in Rivers State. And like almost every other person is watching and is waiting to see the outcome. But once again, he passed a message to the people that these political actors cannot be what they are right now without the assistance, without the permission of the people of Rivers State. All right, now talking about leadership, my next big story has got to do with the Senate. Yeah, the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, Senate President and some top-ranking senators visited Dangote over the weekend, and they made certain comments. The Senate President made certain comments, and I will want to delve into that. But first, I've got a commercial break. After the commercial break, I will talk some more. Just stay tuned. PM hour. I'm still talking big stories. You're listening to HardFacts and 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kalada Kurubata, but we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, active on X, Nigeria Info. PH is the handle. I am also on social media, the Kalada, TheKalada. All right, I was just telling you about the Senate President visiting Dangote's refinery over the weekend, and he had high praises for Dangote. Yeah. He praised Dangote for building a magnificent refinery. Senate President, yeah. And he said, what governments in Africa could not do, what we could not do in Nigeria. I mean, it took 14 years to build the vice president's residence. 14 years, he said. And look at Dangote has built a 650,000 barrels per day refinery in record time. And he said Dangote deserves all the praises, and that he traveled all the way from Abuja to Lagos to see for himself, because the reports he was getting was that the refinery was a farce, was a lie, was fake, and was not going to be able to refine. But he has seen it for himself, and that the Senate will do everything possible to protect Dangote's refinery, so that the development of Nigeria can also be secured. And he talked about how it will impact not just Nigeria, but impact Africa. That Dangote did what they thought Africa or no African could do. And then I was reading the report, and all the while I was reading the report, what Amaechi said came to mind. These political actors are political actors because we permitted them, because of you and I, right? Anyhow you want to look at it, from the angle of the politicians have a way of maneuvering or manipulating electoral processes. If you are a part of that group, whether you like it or not. We, the people, allowed it to happen. If you're from the part of, oh no, we voted and it counted, but people did not protect their votes and all of that. If you're from that camp as well, you still allowed it to happen. And I'm looking at it from Amaechi's perspective, and I'm saying, my goodness, because the Senate president, who is the number 3 man, who is supposed to be the check and balance to the executive arm of government, who is government of the people, by the people, for the people, extolling Dangote while we have shifted dates as it relates to the resumption of production or refining of oil products in Port Harcourt, Old Refinery, Warri Refinery. I mean, we've not even had a particular date for Kaduna. We've had promises here, but we've not had a particular date for Kaduna just yet. And then number 3 man goes to a private entity. I do understand the NNPCL or the federal government has got some percentage as it relates to Dangote's refinery, but my goodness, modular refineries over the weekend were also crying out that, hey, we've not even been considered in the scheme of things. We're not even been looked at. And then the headline for today said, if for any reason modular refineries are given oil to refine, the petrol would crash to as low as 300 naira per litre. My goodness. And my Senate president, your Senate president, and see, there's nothing wrong with caressing private investors, government caressing or pampering them and all of that. There's nothing wrong, but you see, it is everything wrong when you make the statement you make and say what government could not do. We still don't have refineries working, and you're a part of the government. I don't know. My emotions is it still in check? Is my emotion still in check? Okay, all right. I would have to open the phone lines right about now. It's the bottom of the hour, 3:30 p.m. Imagine if we were buying petrol in our current economic state for 300 naira per litre. It will have so much impact. So much impact, I should say. I was in Yenagoa over the weekend, and I mean, Yenagoa, just up until, was it 1997 or was it 96 now? I can't remember vividly. Yenagoa was part of River State, part of old River State. And now for me to travel to Yenagoa, I had to pay 3,500 naira. I mean, my goodness, where are we going to? I'm going to open the phone lines right now. 0817 923 0002 is the first number to call me with. The second number is 0817 923 0003. 0817 923 0007 and and for WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. I take the numbers again: 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003 and 0817 923 0007. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. I've got Frank from D-Line. Frank, welcome. What is on your mind? I'd like to hear from you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Batobo.
Yeah, good afternoon, Frank.
Yeah, that's really a comment made by the former governor of River State, Amaechi, saying that most of the Wike supporters now and Sin supporters, they are just hungry people. I quite agree with him, because tomorrow, let me say it, if Sim now happen to leave office tomorrow, you will not see them praising Sim. They will be praising the current governor. Even if Wike also leave Abuja tomorrow, now you will see them praising the current governor. So Amaechi have looked in and out, see that when he was governor, those same people have been praising him, saying he's the best governor. They switch to Wike. After Wike, they now jump to Sin government. So I agree with him. So, hello.
Yeah, can you hear you? Go ahead, Frank.
Okay, so I want to advise my governor. Let him be careful for some kind of politician is calling for them to come and join him, because those people, they are not really for the interest of River State. for their personal interest, and including the...
I'd like to hear from you.
I'd like to comment on the comment made by former Governor Rotimi Amaechi, saying that those praising him or praising Governor Wike are hungry politicians. I sincerely agree with him.
Okay.
Because if you have to talk about what Sim is doing now, Governor Sim is doing now, you have to look at the way it impacts diverse people and not you or some group of people. And that is why some of us saying Sim has done well, has not done well. We are looking at the people. We are looking at the impact his governance has made on the people. Yes. For now, what he has said is very, very correct. And saying about the rant about the Senate president visiting Dangote, saying what he has said. The government would have done better if at all they had the interests of Nigeria at heart. They could build that refinery in 2 or 3 years. But Nigerian politicians never had the interests of people at heart. So he said the right thing, but then that does not exonerate any of them.
But you see, he's in government. My argument is currently is in government. Has he done anything as a means to checkmate the executive to ensure that they keep to their promises? We've shifted the dates from January to February to March, and then we're in June right now. They promised us May, first week of May. We're in June right now. We're still waiting. We're yet to see the refinery come on stream. So I'm wondering, he is in government. So when he berates other governments, I wonder if the blame should also go to him, and that's where I find it troubling.
Well, I'm really missing you because it looks like I'm having a problem with my phone. But if I got you a little, if the government or the Senate president, if they are for the people, they would have done much to fix the refineries, the one that belongs to us. Fix it, that would help us. But then they've never done that. Sorry, I'm not getting you.
All right, then I would have to let you go at this point. I've got JJ from Port Harcourt Township. JJ, good afternoon to you. Welcome on the show.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome.
I need your help from you right now.
If it has to do with economy, I'm sorry.
No, not economy.
Okay.
What can you do now? I need the correct headline on the Amaechi statement.
Okay. You need the correct headline. I mean, we talked about hungry politicians. We talked about.
No, you talked about him talking about the governor.
Yes, I'm going there. We talked about. I'm telling you what we talked about. Hungry politicians. We talked about him not being for Sim or Wike, saying that the people who are supporting him, either of them are hungry politicians because Sim is popular right now because he is anti-Wike. So yeah, that's what we talked about.
Okay. Well, for me, Sim is not popular because he's fighting Wike. Sim is popular because he's doing what Rivers people want him to do.
Okay.
Canada, you have been here for some time. How many governors have talked about the Trans-Calabari Road? And at the end of the day, they will go, the road is not yet anywhere. Today, you are taking the bold step to award a contract to make sure the road see the light of the day.
The Trans-Calabari Road. Sorry. I like to debate sometimes. I do think, or I thought that we are in phase 2. So that means phase 1 had already been done or dealt with. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Canada, where is the phase 1 of the Trans-Calabari Road?
Interesting.
Where is it located? Trans-Calabari Road is supposed to cover almost all the Calabari local government. That will cover just, how will I put it now, just 3-4 communities, and you call that Calabari Road. Is that what they call Calabari Road? link everybody, and see, look at from the naval base. By the time that project is through, it will take you less than 20 minutes to get to Buguma.
But you see, I understand your argument, but
if you've been to Delta State, there's what they call Isoko Road. That road link almost all the Isoko communities. On that stretch, you have Usere, you have Olomoro, you have Ole, you have Ozoro. That is how this Transcala, not that one.
That's why it's called. That's why it's called phase 1, right? And I'm not arguing with you. I'm just trying to. No, JJ, wait now. For instance, now the ring road, right? The ring road is supposed to, cut across several local governments, but right now at this point, it's not all of the local governments where the work is being done on, right? So it's going to move gradually. Could that have been the case? I'm just arguing. I'm not for anybody.
This one has nothing to do with the first one you're talking about now. Is this one going to connect that one? The answer is no.
Interesting.
So for me, as a person, these are the projects that the governor is embarking on. The project that even the devil will hear and will be shaking.
Okay, all right.
So those are why people like him, not because he has a problem with one person and all those put together.
All right.
That said, the refinery.
Quickly,
in Canada, our people say something that the goods that the town contribute money to buy, hunger, mango kill them. And I think that's the same problem we are having with our home refinery. That's the Nigerian refinery.
Okay.
And imagine our Senate president telling us that they will protect the Dangote refinery. Well, no problem. Maybe part of the protection of the Dangote refinery means that our own will never work. Because I don't know. You cannot make a law that the modular refinery should get crude so that they can produce and employ people. When the refinery was working, Canada, by the time they tell you, say the refinery don't close, do you know the multitude of people that will be coming from that refinery?
All right.
Those are the people that are jobless.
JJ, I've got to go.
It's not for anything. Let's produce locally and get our people employed.
All right, then.
For goodness sake, and save our naira.
All right, thank you, JJ.
So protecting Dangote does not make any what they call sense to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Enzo from Rumogba, welcome. Sorry for keeping you out.
Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
So your name is Canada, as in Canada?
Not Canada, Kalada Kurubatu.
Kalada.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah. My name is Enzo. I'm calling from Rumogba.
All right then.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Let's get your thoughts quickly.
I want to talk about this NLC. NLC will never cease to amaze me.
Okay.
You are fighting for government to increase minimum wage from 30,000 to whatever. And I've been asking these NLC leaders, the 30,000 naira minimum wage, how many governors are paying that 30,000 minimum wage? Has NLC ever led has Mike Ajero and gang ever led a protest against the governors who are not paying ordinary 30,000 minimum wage? Is Mike Ajero led NLC all about federal government? And this want to educate me.
All right.
You want to increase from 30,000 to maybe 32,000 naira. And since when 30,000 was passed as a law in this country, more than half of the 36 state governors have not been able to pay that 30,000 minimum wage. And Mike Ajero and gang have never led a protest against them. Right. Why? I need to be educated though. I don't get it. No, you people can maybe I need to watch it. Somebody should educate me.
All right.
That we have governors who are not paying, who have very early because they can't tell they don't have the resources. We have enough resources to pay minimum wage, even if it's 100K. So why are governors not paying? Okay. And the likes of Mike Ajero are quiet.
All right. Then.
Why are they quiet?
All right.
Can somebody educate me? Because you want to increase minimum wage. There's 30,000. You have governors over 30 of them are they can't pay 30,000. So if they increase it, what makes you think they'll pay it? They've started crying that they cannot even pay because I'm not be able to pay 30,000. And I've been expecting the governor of Abia State, our LPOT. He want to come on air to say, I'm going to pay 100,000 minimum wage because he came with a new slogan.
According to reports, Enzo,
we are coming with something new.
All right.
Why is
Abia State not paying minimum wage.
All right, Enzo, I've got to go. Thank you very
Okay,
much
Guru.
for your rant and your venting, your ventilation. Muriel from Okrika, welcome.
Thank you, KDB. Good afternoon.
Yeah, welcome, Muriel.
Yeah, this is your Krika Joe woman.
Okay.
Look, KDB, politics without principle is what I would describe what Amaechi, the former governor, was talking about.
All right.
Look, KDB, I really want to plead with those politicians in this state, those that are supporting politicians, and those that are not from this state that are interested in the politics of this state. Please, whatever you do, let it be in the interest of River State. When you see wrong, say this is wrong. When you see right, say this is right. Please, when someone is wrong, when a politician is wrong and you praise him, and yet you need development, you need a change in the nation, how do you achieve that? When someone is dancing, the person does not see his back. But when you, the supporters, keep commenting, praising him that you're doing well, when the person is doing wrong, making mistakes, how do you expect the nation to change? KDB, I will never forget what the former governor Amaechi did in the state. He came, he did his own. The people he gave jobs, the teachers, will never forget him. He tried the little he did, and I will not forget Governor Wike as well. He came and he did his bit. The flyovers he did, we're still passing on it. The one or two things he did, we're still doing it with Rivers money. I will not forget it. That does not mean you will not point out their mistakes to them. Amaechi, former Governor Amaechi, was instrumental to the emergence of Buhari. And see where Buhari brought us. And this is the anger of so many people. And seeing that again, this former governor again, the former governor Wike, did that again, the same mistake. When they finish governance in Rivers State, they just want to go to federal immediately, want to become president. These are the continuous mistakes they've been doing. You point out their mistakes. Now, former governor Wike is instrumental to the emergence of Tinubu, and see what Tinubu is doing. They will never come out and tell this president that this is what you're doing, this is what is happening to the nation. Politics without principle is what is killing River State and Nigeria at large. So I want to plead with them to please change.
All right, then. Thank you, Muriel. Muriel says there should change. But let's go to Facebook and see comments therein. Wosu Thango Chima, Barrister Amaechi is perfectly right. Those singing praises for Sima political prostitute, you said. People, okay, I'm gonna move on. Isaac Zeki says FG and OPS should be humane. They know that based on the current realities, especially after the removal of subsidy, prices of commodities, goods and services have skyrocketed. 62,000 as minimum wage is not enough. That is 2,000 each day, and the worker will eat, pay transport, etc. As for Akpabio, as Akpabio is congratulating Dangote, himself and the government should be ashamed of themselves. An individual can successfully build a functional refinery, and government cannot maintain and sustain refineries handed over to them by military governments. Andy Boy Uzutam Ziki says, is it the same CRA who could not deliver Dakuku and Awara, a former governor that could not produce councillors in his own ward? It is okay. Benjamin Paul says Amaechi claimed support for Governor Fubara because he is anti-Wike, not because he's hungry. Others are the ones hungry. He should come out straight. Amaechi did not claim support. He said he's neither for Governor Wike, or rather Governor Sim or Governor or former Governor Wike. Christian Choma says 62,000 is too small with the economic hardship in the country. They should make it 100,000 naira. Life no easy, and that's from Christian Choma on Facebook. Now I'm yet to confirm this, but I'm seeing it from a broadcaster like me, his post, and he said, remember on Friday there were comments about states should pay what they can afford. And Abia State is saying it can afford 40,000 naira. Adamawa State is saying it can afford 45,000 naira. Akwa Ibom is saying it can afford 65,000 naira. Anambra 50, Bauchi 40, Bayelsa 65, Benue 48, Borno 70, Cross River 65, Delta 68, Ebonyi 40, Edo 70, Ekiti 40, Kaduna 45, Kanu 50, Katsina 45, Kebbi 40, Kogi 35, Kwara 43, Lagos 75, Nasarawa 40, Niger 45, Ogun 65, Ondo 62, Osun 57, Oyo 60, Plateau 65, Rivers 80, Sokoto 40, Taraba 45, Yobe 42, Zamfara 30. I wonder what you think about that. Once again, we're looking at verifying the source of that report. But if it is in any way true, I wonder if Labour would accept it, because some people have argued, separate states with separate economic measurements, cost of living differs in different, states, and so different states should pay, different amounts. Dangote ability at Twegu says there's freedom of speech, so Amaechi is entitled to his opinion. All right, let's go over now to WhatsApp. The Kaladai Hildy. I think Labour are not being realistic. This is why I said so. Let's assume that the federal government agrees to pay 250,000. How about the governors who haven't been able to pay 30,000? Is it 250 they will pay? My own is, if they want to strike like thunder, no wahala, they should avoid the national grid, even though it doesn't make any difference, because for the past 3 days we have been in premium darkness. Simple goodness from Alakaya. This one says it is not that there is not enough funds to grant Labour's demand, even if I am not supporting Labour in total, I think he meant to say. But the problem with the politician in government is that if they go ahead to comply with Labour's demand, there won't be enough for them to take from the system. I heard some asking, where would the government get the 100,000 naira to pay workers? When they removed subsidy and everything skyrocketed, did they ask where would the people get 800 naira from to buy fuel? From Hector there. All right, let's take a listen to this one. Let's hear.
Good afternoon, Kalada. My name is Ira Buchika. First, let me talk about Amaechi, then I'll go to the minimum wage issue. Amaechi should have, if I were to be in his shoes, he should just keep his mouth shut and not say what he has just said. We already know that he's neither for any other of two big weights fighting for the soul of River State at the moment. He equally had his own fair share when he fought with Wike. So that is just what he should just keep his mouth shut. All of them are the same thing. None of them is for the people. Remember, he talked about should stone the politicians if they don't deliver, and nobody has stoned him because none of them delivered for River State people in particular and to Nigeria at large. Having said that, the minimum wage, I want the labor to fight to a finish. It is either 250,000 for the people or nothing. And when they are fighting for the people, they should equally make sure that they fight for the informal sector. I mean, those people who are not employed by the public service or not employed by the corporate organizations, what I call the informal sector. So they should make sure that whatever they agree with the government should trickle down to the people. Whoever that is a worker, whatever nature of the job you're doing, even if you're a cook in somebody's house, you're a gardener, you are a nanny, everybody should partake in the minimum wage. What I mean is that you should tell all your business, you should tell all your whatever you're doing to be able to accommodate that every other person in this society is a partaker to the agreed minimum wage. That is where the economy of the country will grow. So you are doing well, and I want our people to know that if the government or the governor say they don't want to pay, everybody should come out to the main road and they occupy the nation till they change their mind. They are enjoying. They're enjoying the state, they're enjoying the country, but they don't want the people, the owners of the land, to enjoy with them. That is preposterous and a very wicked act. So the people should get towards revolution. It happened in France in 1789. And that was what gave birth to what we're enjoying today. So our people should equally do something so that our children will be able.
All right, thank you very much. I hope, first, I need to correct two things. When you say Amaechi should not have said his mind, he was asked a question and he responded, right? And secondly, when you say revolution, I hope revolution in a good way, because yes, there can be good revolution, industrial revolution. It could also be, protesting till something good is done. But this was his common color. I do not complain about audio in the clip. Ex-Governor Amaechi was talking. It was not meant to be in the public. Someone just recorded at the moment and shared it on social media. If you want to make his opinion, send your reporter to him and get quality audio. Now, I like when people have views like this. If you watch the video, if you did watch the video, you would see that video was long enough. There were cameramen there. Several platforms were there as well. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that argument with you, but thank you very much. From Eddie, good afternoon, KDB. And by the way, I should mention we have sent our reporters on several occasions to the former governor. But going on, good afternoon, KDB. Amaechi, just like others who are not in the good books of Wike, is just being careful in putting his mouth in anything concerning Wike for the following reasons. One, Wike is Amaechi's Abuja landlord now. Two, remember Wike during his tenure threatened that the next time Amaechi says anything against him, Wike will expose Amaechi so much that his wife will even leave him. Amaechi should come out and stand with the people's governor and stop being a fear man as always. Okay, I've got a commercial coming up, and after that I'll read some more messages and take some more voice notes, but please do stay tuned to 92.3 Nigeria Info.